Hello everyone! So we're going to be preparing for our next lesson, which is how to read the American Dietary Guidelines and what is it all about, what is the Choosemyplate.gov, and helping us to understand the types of food that we should be eating and what the 4 food groups are that we should be choosing from, and so on. So parents, if you can watch this with your students, I think it'd be great, especially because a lot of times what you're cooking is what, you're in charge of what they're eating for the time that they're at home. Okay, so let me get over to my next slide. So one of the things I think is really important is to go ahead and watch a video called Choose My Plate, and I'll be sending the website to you guys separately and your emails and through a flyer. But basically you go to this website right here, choosemyplate.gov, and it's going to explain all about the choices. So let me see, and actually I think we could watch it together. Here's my link. Oops. Now it's going to be on YouTube.
Eating healthy is important. The foods and drinks you choose for meals and snacks can help you be healthier now and in the future. And it's more than eating one healthy meal or one healthy snack. Your food choices add up and they all matter. So where to start? First, choose foods from all 5 food groups throughout the day and throughout the week. Fruits, vegetables, grains, protein foods, and dairy. Your fruits and vegetables can be fresh, frozen, dried, or canned. Try roasting or steaming them as a healthful option. Try starting your day with whole grains, like oatmeal or whole grain cereal. For extra flavor and crunch, add your favorite fruit or a handful of nuts. Stuck in the same old routine? Mix up your protein foods. Try seafood twice a week. And enjoy milk and yogurt in recipes or on their own. Read labels and ingredient lists to compare foods and choose healthier options. Across all of your choices, drink and eat less sodium, saturated fat, and added sugars. And hey, we know it's not always on a plate. It's about making shifts no matter where you are. Start with small changes to make healthier choices you can enjoy. Small changes add up to big wins. For more information, visit choosemyplate.gov.
Isn't that interesting? So that is where we're getting our information from. And let me just exit out. We'll go right back here. Okay. So in that video you saw that there were different food groups, and so one of the things that we want to learn together is to talk about what is included in those food groups, what types of foods are in there, and then we'll eventually talk about possibly enhancing our own meals at home. So one thing I want you to do is to notice that here's a sample plate, and it has if you look at the little pie shapes, vegetables are the bigger portion on your plate, and then grains is the second largest, followed by protein and fruit. So do you guys know what protein is? If you look over here at this picture, it's kind of hard to see it, but that includes, oops, do we take this off? Okay. So protein includes chicken, steak, any of your meats, and even eggs, and fish, pork. I'm trying to think if there's any meat that I'm forgetting. And over in your vegetables, you have things like your carrots and green beans, peas, squash, zucchini. And we'll talk a little bit more about those. And their fruit category, bananas, apples, grapes, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, mangoes, papayas. So that's usually kind of fun because it's a natural sweet thing to eat. And lastly is your dairy. Now some people like to drink regular milk, but some people are not able to. Some people are called lactose intolerant, or maybe they get a stomach ache whenever they drink milk. So they might be drinking instead some almond milk, rice milk, oat milk, or flax milk. So non-dairy options. So in the handout that I sent home with you, you have some boxes that you can fill out. So if you pull that out, it's going to be, you're going to fill out what is included in each group. So in the fruits, and I gave you some hints just before, what are some fruits? List them in here, like banana, apple, and so on. Vegetables. Write down vegetables that you know of. You know, maybe it is green beans, peas, zucchini, squash, pumpkin. And then grains, rice, oats, like oatmeal, cereal, bread, whole wheat bread, so wheat, and then brown rice, white rice and brown rice. So protein, maybe types of meat, and you can think of those. You're going to write that in this box. So here's some little hints of things that we'll start learning about, like what's the amount that we should be eating. And so this graphic gives us a perfect view of the portion sizes in each area. So vegetables is the largest serving, followed by grains, then fruit, and then lastly protein. And then, of course, the dairy. Oh, and I forgot to mention that. So dairy, whether that's milk or any of the non-dairy milks, like like I mentioned, almond milk, oat milk, rice milk. And for the grains, you would want to limit yourself to 1 ounce of bread, which equals to 1 slice, 1 cup of cereal, or half a cup of rice. And this is for 1 meal on your plate. So in meat, what you can do is think of a deck of cards, like playing cards, and the size of that deck of cards is equal to 3 ounces of meat. One of them that's not a part of protein, but it's listed here, and it would go up in the dairy section, is cheese. So if you think of the size of a domino, the rectangle of dominoes, 1 ounces would equal 1 domino. And then I want you to write down, what did you do for exercise? So teens should get how much exercise added up per day. I know we haven't talked about that, so we'll probably start with guessing, and then we'll start learning how much we should be exercising. So then you have a printout that you're going to go ahead and use to write down more foods. So we had one sample of the handout before. Now I want you to start thinking ahead of what other foods could be included in these food groups. So what other types of proteins are there? We didn't mention legumes or beans, different types of beans. And so more types of fruits, maybe more fruits that you're familiar with, more vegetables, and other grains. So I want you to fill in more information there. You're going to bring that with you. So you're going to start a food journal. And what I want you to do is I want you to write what you ate for breakfast, what you ate for lunch, and what you ate for dinner. And you don't have, of course, you're not going to write it on this paper. You're going to have your journal that we put together to get started. Also, I want you to go ahead and write down what type of exercise did you do. So when you're filling this out, go ahead and either fill it out for yesterday or today if it's the end of the day. And then how much water did you drink? Maybe you can go ahead and every 12 ounces make a little line, make a dash mark. Okay, so that's what we're going to do to get you prepared for this lesson. It's going to start on Monday, and then we are going to go through the week. So there you go. There's a little snapshot. Okay, so if there's any questions from parents, you can email me, and then we'll be talking about this tomorrow or on Monday.